Canada, what's up, bruh? Y'all going down a very dangerous path. And they're using your money to do it. Your own tax paying dollars to hurt other people. You get that, right? Y'all need to start saying something about this because this ain't okay. And they're making y'all look a lot like a Hitler and the Democrat, Dixiecrat racists that ruled America. I don't think y'all want that legacy. You need to stand up and say something to your leaders, because they normally say the path to hell is paved with good intentions. I think this is one of those paths. So without further ado, let's get into this story by the Black Conservative Perspective. It's along the lines of vote taxpayer-funded theater bans non-black people from showing non-black people from show during Black History Month.
All right, guys. So Black History Month is just a few days away, which means you know what's coming, right? You know what we're about to get. For how many days is it in February? 28, right? 29, 28 days straight. I believe it's 28 this year. We're about to get a whole lot of, wokeness for 28 days straight, right? And it's already started. As we got a story out of Canada, which means that you'll probably see stories like this in the United States eventually, okay? The things that we see in Europe, particularly in Western Europe and in Canada, we see them first. They eventually come over to the United States, okay? Canada and Western Europe are much further down the Marxist rabbit hole, right, than the United States is. We're just, behind them, okay? What happens there will eventually happen here. So I think that this story is very relevant, right?
No, it ain't gonna happen here.
This Canadian theater is sparking outrage after announcing black-only performances, okay? So they are having black.
I don't really think that's going to happen here because we've already went down this road, and like black people, you can sit here and say all you want that if you were given power, you wouldn't do this. If you were to allow this to happen, like what Canada is doing right now, that you are exactly proving what basic human I wouldn't say instincts, but we're just revenge. This is basic human behavior. You are doing exactly what you said you wouldn't do. Canada is doing it right now and thinking that this is a way to help right the wrongs. No, Canada, you didn't even have as much of a problem with slavery like America did. So you guys doing this has nothing to do with you actually helping out black people, since most of the people that moved there are not even from America. They're mostly Africans from Africa. So it's like you guys doing this is. This right here is wrong, period. And anyone who's black who goes along with, anyone who's black who participates in this, you pay for this, you are no different than the white people that were here in America protesting and doing whatever they needed to do to keep blacks down. You're only doing it in reverse to keep whites down, and you want to call yourself moral? You have the moral high ground? No, you don't. The moral high ground would be, you know what? This was done to us, but we're not going to repeat this to anybody. We're going to set the standard to say, no, we are above it. But we don't, that would be the most idealistic approach of this. But we know you guys aren't idealistic. You're like revengeful. You are authoritarian. You don't want equality. You don't want any of that. And this right here shows me that you don't want equality. This is proof that you don't want equality. Blacks do not want equalities with whites, or else when you have such an opportunity like this, you would bond together and hold hands and say, no, we will not isolate anyone. And we will show our government that they are not allowed to do this. We will not, as a society, go along with the bullshit that they're trying to feed us. But like the little sheep and the weak people that you are, because you're so more driven by fucking revenge. You're more driven by revenge, hate, jealousy. This has nothing to do with righting wrongs. This is everything to do with getting back at the people who kept you down. When those people no longer fucking exist, Their ancestors are the ones, their descendants. Those are the ones that are around, and you have an opportunity to show them, hey, we will not treat you like your ancestors treated us. So fuck Canada, fuck all the black people who decide to go along with this. You're not my kind, I don't fucking like you, and honestly, your kind should be eradicated from the face of the planet. Yeah, I said that. Black on black crime in its fullest. I approve of that.
Only performances for black only audiences doing a show on a night during Black History Month. And again, this is the end game of the woke ideology, okay? They claim that they want racial equality, but what they actually really want is racial inequality, and they want to bring us back to Jim Crow. They want to take us back to segregation. We see it time and time again, where they try to do people of color things only, okay? Black only, Asian only, Hispanic, whatever, right? Diversity and inclusion basically means no whites, right? That's basically what it means. And we have another example of that with this story right here. And the worst part about this is that this theater is actually taxpayer funded. Okay, so it's sponsored by the taxpayers of Canada. They're sponsoring what seems to be Jim Crow, right, in Canada. So without further ado, let's read this. A taxpayer-funded Canadian theater organization has sparked outrage after announcing an event that will only allow black identifying audiences to attend. What the hell does that mean? What the hell does black identifying mean? Right? Does that mean if I'm white or Hispanic or whatever, I come up and say I identify as black, does that mean that I can get in? Like, what does that mean? Right? Again, this is crazy. The National Arts Center in Ottawa is putting on a, quote, blackout night at its Babs Asper Theater on February 17th, the middle of Black History Month, for the performance Is God Is, a play.
And then let me just go, you bringing God in this, you bringing religion in this. God don't like this. This right here, God would say it's ugly. And I'm pretty sure you would not want the black community. They swear to God up and down, they fear God, right? How do you think God will repay you for allowing this to happen? And then no one from this black community, black women, none of you standing up and saying anything about it. I'm pretty sure God has rules against this, right? I don't even, I'm going to listen to this a little bit more, but this shit right here, it infuriates me. It should infuriate everyone on the planet that any group would want to do this. And I don't care if you think it's for, you're saying you're doing this out of the respect of Black America. No, because if this is out of respect of just Black History Month, wouldn't you want everyone to enjoy it?
Written by and starring black women. A blackout is an open invitation to black identifying audiences to come and experience performances with their community, the theater announced earlier this month. Quote, the evenings will provide a dedicated space for black theater goers to witness a show that reflects the vivid kaleidoscope.
Why does it even matter? Who is looking at people when they go to the theater to see what color they are? The only thing that you should be worried about when you go into the theater, I wouldn't even say being worried about. It should just be the only thing that should be apparent to you going into this theater is that the love of theater is shared by everybody in that room for that particular play, for that particular writer, for the particular cast. No one gives a I have been to a place, I've been in a play. I don't give a when the lights go out, I'm not looking to my left, to my right. I'm looking at the fucking stage. Who gives a shit what if it's an Asian person right next by you or a fucking German? They obviously are here because they want to see the play. They're bringing money to see your culture and what it has to offer in the form of theater. Why are you limiting yourself? This is the reason why black people can't get anywhere. It's like you don't like it when white people don't include you in spaces, but then you isolate white people from your spaces by pulling out this bullshit, this kind of dumb bullshit. What are your achievements? What are you trying to achieve with this? What is your goal? Is your goal not to end segregation? Is your goal not to end the discrimination amongst races? Then why are you holding, during the whole entire Black History Month, theater shows in which only black people can attend? I thought your message was to erase all of that. I thought your message was to have everyone, a human, come together as one. You're actually working against what you're fighting for. You're undermining yourselves. And like I said, anyone who would fucking stand by and allow this, you're a piece of shit. You're what's wrong with the planet. And I don't care if you don't like me saying it.
That is the Black experience. The event promptly sparked backlash on social media. Quote, cultural apartheid. The identitarian left proudly appropriates an oldie but goodie. Canada is starting to make the U.S. seem like hungry. You want
to know a lot. You know something? Racism is alive and well, because I don't care what anyone says when it comes to this. If white people were to do this to black people, you would call it racism, right? Black people doing this to white people, guess what? It's still racism. I don't care what anyone says, and you plain semantics because, I don't know, the white people have power. That's not what racism means, okay? It's not some structural hierarchy here. It is literally prejudices and preconceived notions against someone based off of the color of their skin. That is what racism is. I don't know how many fucking times we need to go through this, especially for black people. Y'all obviously don't seem to get this. You keep trying to drill this into white people's heads, but you don't seem to want to drill this into your own fucking brain. You doing this to any other race, I don't give a shit. You are fucking racist, okay? You are.
Racism is live and well in Canada. I hope this event is boycotted. So given that the National Arts Center now does single race only shows, are they planning on doing a whites only show? No, you can't do that. You can't do a whites only show. Okay, white people can't have their own thing, right? Whites have to open up everything to others, right? But others don't have to open up their stuff to whites, right? That's how it works, okay? And they say that this is equality, right? This is equality. This is what they say. But the quote is God is performance will not only be.
Honestly, I'm done with this. I'm gonna have to say this from an approach from actually Europeans and other individuals at one point in time, like 10 years ago. Look, if someone doesn't want to come into your culture and admire your culture or respect your culture, they can leave. You can go back to wherever the fuck you want. Do not invite them into your spaces. And simply because they bitch and whine and complain because they're not, tell them this is the reason why. Why would I allow your poison, your type of mentality to come into our groups? We don't want you. If you can't respect our culture like we will respect yours, and if people else who are not black want to come and see your stuff, they obviously must want to know something about your culture, must want to know something about your art, your culture's art. And they're willing to respect you and pay you your worth, whatever price that you set for that ticket. And you won't let them in. Well, this is only a theater. Do the same to them in all aspects, not just theater. See if they will like it. See if they will like the taste of their own medicine. Trust me, I know they'll bitch and cry and complain and moan and say Jim Crow has never ended. See? Well, it's never ended because you keep starting it. You guys keep starting it. Not us, you. Because every single time I fucking turn around, it's black people doing this shit. I don't see white people doing it, because if there is, it will be an uproar on the news. So, start doing it to them. That's all I gotta say.